Good afternoon, everyone. I hereby convene the 2022 Commencement for Edison State Community College. This is a joyful celebration for all of us, and it affirms the central mission and values of our academic community. I now call upon Professor Steve Sykes to deliver the invocation.
I'd like for all that could, please stand if you are able. Gentlemen, remove your hats. Shall we pray? Creator, we have all come from different places, hold different values, and cherish different beliefs. Yet today we are united in gratitude. In a world where many cannot study, we are thankful for the achievements, degrees, and honors that we celebrate today. In a world where many have no future, we are thankful for the dreams, hopes, and plans that have been cultivated here in this community. In a world where many have no community, we are thankful for the support of our mentors, professors, family, and friends. Today we look toward tomorrow. This is not an ending, but a commencement. A beginning of a new way to look at our world, an opportunity to give back, an opportunity to serve our community, and an opportunity to start over. Students have met their goals, and we celebrate that today. Tomorrow they will set new goals and be on a new path to different experiences, different dreams, and different destinies. So graduates, let us be thankful today. You may be pleased with what you have done here, so celebrate your success. Your parents, children, family, and friends are proud of you, so celebrate your success. The faculty and staff here are proud of you, so celebrate your success. Thank you for your grand pursuit of knowledge and discovery. Congratulations, best wishes, and many blessings. Amen. I'd like for you to remain standing for the national anthem played by the Charter Music Society.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous tide o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please be seated. Thank you, Music Director Gail Ahmed and members of the Charter Music Society. Thank you for the music today. The Charter Music Society will also provide music for the graduates in the outdoor courtyard after the ceremony today. Thank you again for sharing your time and talents with all of us. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Edison State Community College, I, Dr. Doreen Larson, welcome all of you who are part of our graduation ceremony today. Welcome parents, spouses, children, other family, friends. Welcome colleagues from Edison State, and in particular, welcome to the faculty of Edison State Community College. Above all, we greet the members of the graduating class of 2022. We are proud of you, and we hope that this ceremony will become a treasured memory. All of us will find today's commencement ceremony filled with the pomp and circumstance of high ritual. The academic procession of the faculty and the graduates that you just witnessed, the robes we are wearing, the academic mace, the words we will utter in conferring degrees, they are rituals and symbols that go back to the first medieval colleges and universities. As rituals do, they serve as a continuous reminder of our academic origins, of long-standing college traditions, and as our celebrated values as a community of scholars. We are, after all, one of the longest-lived of civilization's social institutions. Our experiences over the past 2 years have shown us how quickly these ceremonies and celebrations can be impacted by health and safety concerns. We have experienced the void that was left when we were prevented from sharing accomplishments with all of those who have helped us along the way. So today's graduation ceremony here in person is therefore very special. It marks the reinstatement of community gatherings to recognize the achievement of our graduates, and it gives us the opportunity to thank all of those who have worked side by side with these students to help them achieve their goals in the midst of ongoing challenges. So I would add that this graduating class is very, very special. Most of these graduates here today had just started their coursework at Edison State when everything changed. Everything. Not just a job, not just the economy, not just a passing flu season. Children were sent home indefinitely. Families were isolated. Safety standards and medical treatments were changing on a daily basis. City squares looked like ghost towns, and grocery shelves went bare overnight. These graduates here before us today, they found a way. They found a way to complete their programs, to navigate the changes in courses and methods and modes of their college interactions. These graduates had every excuse to stop out, to deal with the day-to-day and then regroup when the chaos ended, but they did not. They kept their eye on the prize for a better future for their children, their families, and their communities. They found ways to read, study, write, communicate, test, and all in all perform at the level of excellence required by the faculty at Edison State Community College. This class is indeed very special, and I bring you great congratulations. In light of your tenacity, grit, and focus, I would urge all the graduates here today to reflect on your life goals. Reflect on those goals, and then I would set them one level higher. You have achieved success within the eye of a great storm, and your ability to achieve has no limits. This college, Edison State, also faces a brilliant future. We have set ourselves apart during the COVID crisis as educational leaders, as innovators, and servants of our community. Over the past 2 years, Edison State added new degree programs. We expanded to new locations, we reduced and even eliminated tuition costs. We enrolled and graduated students at the highest levels in the history of our college. Our belief in the value of a college education, our commitment to each other was tested, and we proved ourselves stronger than we even knew we could be. And I say to you, my colleagues at Edison State, as we look to your goals and performance under new leadership, reflect on those goals and performance, and set the bar even higher. If COVID couldn't slow us down, nothing can. As educators, though, we cannot rest. We cannot rest until true and equitable access to higher education is a reality for all of the communities that we serve. Now, graduates, as you return to your homes and neighborhoods today, I personally, as your president, I have a request for you. During this season of graduations and graduation celebrations, you will no doubt hear people say, I wish I had the chance to go to college. I wish I had the chance to finish my college degree. And I ask that you reach out to those people. Reach out to at least one person and encourage them to go to college or to go back to college. You are the best testimony to success at a college. You have a story to tell. You can encourage folks to again achieve their dreams as you are on your way to achieve your dreams. Please use your personal experience and your success to set someone else on their pathway so that they too can cross the stage and graduate. I ask our graduates, everyone here today, to take a breath, relax, take in the beauty and the meaning of our graduation rituals. I urge the graduates, take your time walking across the stage. Allow us time to savor in person the joy of your achievement that is so personal, that is just so amazing within all that you have done and will do in life. Today marks a milestone in completing your educational goals and coming ever closer to realizing your dreams. Thank you. We thank your families and your friends for choosing Edison State Community College as your educational partner. We wish you nothing but the best in your bright futures. Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you today the members of the Edison State Board of Trustees who are joining us here today. I ask the trustees to please rise when I call your name. Mr. Jim Oda, Chair of the Board of Trustees. Mrs. Ty Baker Bauman, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees. Mrs. Elizabeth Gutman, member of the Board of Trustees from Miami County. Mrs. Tammy Baird Ganley, member of the Board of Trustees, Miami County. Dr. Phil Dubbs, member of the Board of Trustees, Darke County. Thank you, trustees. It is also my pleasure to introduce to you those who are joining me on the stage this morning. And if they would please rise when I call their name. Mrs. Jennifer Williams, Chair of the Edison Foundation. Mr. Chris Spradlin, Executive Vice President and Provost. Dr. Kenneth Yule, President Emeritus of Edison State Community College. Dr. Andy Runyon, Dean of Professional and Technical Programs. Dr. Paul Heinz, Dean of Arts and Sciences. and Mr. Jared Dunn, who is our student speaker today. Thank you. There are many people who wish to bring congratulations and greetings to our graduates today. Edison State Community College is guided by a board of trustees. These representatives dedicate hours of service and expertise without any compensation other than the personal reward of supporting the success of our college and our graduates. The board has been very supportive and committed to the success of our community college students. And this afternoon, the chair of the board, Mr. James Oda, brings you greetings on their behalf.
Thank you, Dr. Larson. On behalf of the trustees of Edison State Community College, you are the success of that board. We sit there and meet, we drink Coca-Cola, but you are the ones that make what we do such a rousing success. And we do want to congratulate you for all that you have done. And on a personal note, I would just say that of all the graduating classes I have seen, you are the most attractive. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Oda. Many of our graduates here this evening are recipients of scholarships funded by the efforts of the Edison Foundation. The Edison Foundation also supports faculty innovation and excellence, along with ensuring state-of-the-art classrooms and facilities. Please welcome Mrs. Jennifer Williams, Chair of the Edison Foundation.
Thank you, Dr. Larson. Thank you and good afternoon. As chairperson of the Edison Foundation, I am pleased to recognize our graduates and their outstanding achievements. The mission of the Edison Foundation is to assist the Edison State Community College in meetings in educational and community service goals by providing resources and advance student success. The Edison Foundation is privileged to work with many generous donors and sponsors to aid Edison State through student scholarships, student emergency assistance, grants, capital campaigns, and other support. I want to congratulate every graduate as we celebrate your accomplishments today. On behalf of the Edison Foundation, I wish you the best as you begin your quest towards your next bright future. As you chart your path, may your future involve serving others, paying it forward whenever possible, carrying dreams which never fade, and to always work for the common good. I challenge you to share the valuable knowledge which you have gained by being a student at Edison State. To quote Gandhi, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This is a time of a decision-making. Your values, your character, and your work ethic will help you decide your next steps in your future. Today, we say well done and congratulations. Now, as graduates of this excellent institution, the Edison Foundation encourages each of you to join us in continuing to support the goals and the future of Edison State students. Today, you are part of a greater community, a community being known as the Edison State Charters alumni. We wish you well.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. We are pleased and blessed, frankly, to have Jared Dunn joining us as our student speaker this afternoon. Jared is graduating today with his Associate of Applied Science degree in agriculture, and he is the first ag degree recipient from the Edison State Eaton campus. He's also earning 2 certificates in farm management and agribusiness. Jared is a 2021 graduate of Preble Shawnee High School, and he is presently doing an internship with the Preble County OSU Extension Office. He has been a public speaker at state and national events, and he is the former vice president of the Ohio FFA. He'll be transferring to OSU in Columbus this fall to finish his agriculture education degree. Jared, join us, please.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. And now I will need you all to help me paint a picture. Now imagine you wake up once again as your middle school self, and all you have on your mind is what you'll wear for the day and what you'll be eating for lunch. Oh yeah, and a big exam that you may have studied a little less than you should have. You stroll into first period and you're met with a packet of paper and alongside it the dreaded half sheet filled with endless rows of unmarked boxes, also known as the Scantron. Now, the Scantron was every student's worst enemy because younger students found them confusing and they signified the importance of the test before us. Along with that, they came with a very specific rules and instructions. So, first off, you must never mark outside of the box. You must always keep in the lines, and you must always use a number 2 pencil. Those were very specific rules, no matter math, science, or history. And if those rules were not followed to a T, your test would be rejected. I should know very well because I always struggled with the rules of a Scantron, especially rule number 2. As a young student and an aspiring artist, I always found myself doodling all across my papers. This was typically never an issue, but to a Scantron, these doodles were detrimental. Every doodle outside of the designated answer box would mess up the grading machine that the Scantron would run through, and ultimately deem my test null and void. Now, let's take a step back. I feel like that's a really harsh reality to put on such a young student. We're told that if we ever come outside of our boxes, then we will ultimately be rejected. Harsh. But the Scantron effect does not only apply to our lives as students. Beyond the classroom, we're taught a very similar message. It feels like we must never color outside of our lines, must be perfect, must never make any mistakes, and follow every rule we're given to a T. If we don't do these things, then we ourselves, like our test, may be rejected. Now, everybody may have or will in the future experience the Scantron effect in their own life, but my moment occurred in December of my 4th grade year. On our last day before winter break, I found myself at my desk excited for the celebrations to come. Now, I have watched movies all day, drinking cocoa with my peers, and to top off our winter celebration was the ELF project. Now, let me give you some background. The ELF project consisted of students cutting and skillfully gluing a paper elf together and creating a job for Santa's workshop the elf would fulfill. Now, I knew, as the aspiring artist I was, I wanted my elf to be top-notch and not like any other students around me. I would stroll around the room and I found elves being made for dolls, elves made for video games, elves being made to take care of the reindeers, and even elves to be Santa's butler. There was an elf for just about every scenario, so I was at a loss. That is, until my inspiration struck me. I was going to make a welding elf. That's right, I knew that nobody else in my class was going to ever think to make a welding elf, and besides, Santa would need an elf to help with maintenance. He would be able to fix all the toys. He would be able to take care of the reindeer's pins, make sure they're welded up nicely, and even make any and all toys associated with metal in general. I thought I was a genius. I quickly got to work creating my welding elf, and by the end, I thought I had a masterpiece in my hands. Let me paint you a picture of this masterpiece. Starting off, my elf wore a long black apron and a heavy welding coat. Where my peers had created dainty, tiny, curled shoes for their elves, mine wore steel-toed boots. My elf had bright yellow eyes, much like a cat, obviously, so he didn't have to wear a welding hood. And he had a deep shade of red skin, because it got hot working with the fire. And to top off my elf, he held a little sign that said, #1 Metal Elf. Looking back now, it sounded like my elf was a walking list of red flags, but to my 4th grade mind, I thought he was perfection. As me and my peers wrapped up our elf projects, our teacher came around one by one to collect our work. She made her way around, and with every student, she would give a nice compliment like great color or cute hat, and when she came to mine, she fell silent. She then began to laugh, and that laughter quickly turned back into silence. She looked at me and said, "What do you mean by metal elf?" And I looked at her. Obviously, it meant an elf that worked with metal. But to her perception, it was quite different. See, she took my elf as not metal that we work with, metal as in the genre of music. She thought that my metal elf was a rocker and that the red skin and yellow eyes was supposed to signify that he was some sort of demon or monster. I could not believe what she was saying, and she quickly told me that my elf would not be going along the walls with the others because we hung them up to every student to see as we made our way out of the buildings. Mine would not be joining. It was deemed inappropriate. It might scare the kids. And all I remember after that is being devastated. I cried and cried and cried maybe a little bit too much, but my heart sank. I was so proud of my elf, and because he did not fit in with the box, then he was rejected. I was devastated that obviously my elf was not going to be with my classmates, but it went a little deeper than that. See, did you guys even take a second to wonder why I wanted to make a welding elf? Or how I even knew what welding was in the 4th grade? My dad was a welder. See, my dad was a welder, and I thought it was so cool that I knew what welding was, and I thought it was even cooler that my dad was the one that did it. I could not wait to share everything that I knew about welding, from the hood to the apron, and I couldn't wait to talk about my dad, because he, to me, was the coolest person in the world. But I wasn't allowed. My elf was inappropriate. My elf was wrong. I colored outside the lines, and I was rejected. If that day was a Scantron, I was marking every box wrong. I kept going outside of the lines, and my test wasn't just rejected, it was torn up in front of my eyes. What felt like the eternal day just seemed to continue as I made my way home from school. At home, I was met by my mother and my father, who promptly asked me how my day went. I went on to explain everything from the movies to the creation of my elf, and eventually the interaction I had with my teacher. After my winded rant, they asked to see my elf, and as I pulled it out of my backpack, they fell silent. Their silence, like my teacher's, turned into laughter. They loved my elf. They thought it was so cool that my elf was just like my dad. I couldn't believe it. The praise that I received seemed to tune out any negativity that I received only hours earlier. The elf that my teacher saw as demonic and monstrous, my parents saw as cute and creative. Albeit they could recognize that the deep red skin and yellow eyes was an odd choice, but they were able to realize my artistic vision. I was ecstatic that my parents were proud of my work, that I seemed to forget about the disappointment that I faced with my teacher. Now, let's take another moment and travel back up to middle school. Just like I said before, I still always struggled with rule number 2, staying inside the lines of a Scantron. Each doodle I made, the Scantron would cause the test to go void. In my opinion, the Scantron couldn't handle my artistic genius, but many teepers chalked it up to I couldn't follow directions. You see, I say most, because there was always one teacher that would encourage me to step outside the lines. And that was my art teacher. Where a doodle in class would frustrate the other teachers, nothing brought her more joy than a doodle. And the best part of her class was there was no Scantrons to get in the way of my artwork. Though we are all long past middle school, we still may doubt ourselves at points. We may internalize the negativity that we receive from others. We may feel the need to be perfect. We may feel the need to always color inside the lines. And when you feel these moments, I want you to take a step back and ask, am I marking the wrong boxes, or am I marking the boxes wrong? Am I marking the wrong boxes, or am I marking the boxes wrong? I realize now that my doodles were not wrong or incorrect, but simply misplaced. I can realize that the elf may have not been my teacher's favorite, but my parents will never forget it. In those instances, I was marking all the wrong boxes. I was trying to fit into places that didn't quite understand me, but then I was able to find the right boxes that enjoyed me, my doodles, and even my questionable elf. Though some may have found it and some still may be searching, we're all looking for the box where we belong, where we can color outside the lines. Though we may have all been looking for somewhere to call our own, we have all found a place here at Edison. Through the help of supportive staff, great friends, and passionate educators, I can confidently say I feel right where I belong. In this moment, celebrating all of our accomplishments together. Though after today, we'll all soon be taking on different paths and boxes, such as building boxes for Amazon, checking boxes off of a medical record, or we may find ourselves in a box-shaped cubicle. Let us celebrate our accomplishments that led us to this moment where we all belong together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jared, so much. Can't remember smiling so much during a student's talk as I did during that. It was delightful. And speaking of smiling, from time to time, persons within the Edison State community arise who deserve special recognition and appreciation from the college. At the January 26, 2022 meeting of the Edison State Board of Trustees, the trustees approved the recommendation from the College Academic Senate to award Mr. Don Walters an honorary associate's degree in recognition of his exemplary service to the college. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that I ask Mr. Walters to join me now on the stage. Whereas the Edison State Board of Trustees note that events at Edison State Community College are enjoyable and memorable due greatly to the personal commitment of Mr. Don Walters. And whereas Mr. Walters works consistently to make every Edison State event special, he goes above and beyond in his preparations, service, ambiance, and flexibility. And whereas Mr. Walters is part of the team fabric of our college, and Edison State is a better workplace because of his presence. And whereas Mr. Walters' sons are both graduates of Edison State Community College, it is with great pleasure that I confer the honorary associate's degree from the College of Edison State Community College to Mr. Don Walters. I now call upon the Edison State Community College Executive Vice President and Provost, Mr. Chris Brodlin, to present the candidates for certificates and associate degrees.
Would the graduates please stand? Dr. Larson, these are the candidates for the degrees of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies, along with the candidates for certificates from the following career pathways: Arts, Humanities, and Communication, Science and Mathematics, Business, Engineering and Manufacturing, Health Sciences, Information Technology, and Social and Public Services. These candidates have completed the curriculum prescribed for their degrees and certificates as approved by the Board of Trustees of Edison State Community College. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, I present them to you so that you may confer upon them the degrees and certificates for which they are candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Edison State Community College, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts, Associate of Science, Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, and Associate of Technical Studies, and the certificates from the following career pathways: Arts, Humanities, and Communication, Science and Mathematics, Business, Engineering and Manufacturing, Health Sciences, Information Technology, and Social and Public Services. And I admit you to the rights, the privileges, and prerogatives pertaining thereto. Graduates, you may now change your tassels.
Graduates, you may now be seated. We will now present the degrees and certificates. Graduates, please come forward to be greeted by Dr. Larson and Mr. Jim Oda, Chair of the Edison State Community College Board of Trustees. Dr. Andy Runyon, Dean of Professional and Technical Programs, and Dr. Paul Heinz, Dean of Arts and Sciences, will announce the graduates.
David J. Elliott. Jack J. Quinlisk. Evan Kent Hicks. Cadence Christopher Deakins. Michael R. Tregesser. Clay David Jacobs. Michael Gully. Caitlin N. Rope. Logan Lynn Cheney. Amanda M. Martin. Matthew DeFalco. Jennifer Lynn Foster. Autumn Taylor Gaidosh. Briston A. Graman. Carly J. Beckman. Sierra Ray Lynn Maggart. Valerie Renee Kissinger. Madison Elizabeth Ann Bell. Melissa Barhorst. Corinne A. Gross. Alicia K. Varney. Pamela Rebecca Andratio. Alexis Olberding. Victoria Sharp. Letitia Kiana Jackson. Janelle K. Lowry. Gracie Mae Bryant. Marissa A. Sharp. Skylar M. Reed. James Edward Jacobs. Austin Timmerman. Nathaniel J. Cade. Emily Elizabeth Baker. Dakota J. Gillette. Melinda J. Moden. Chloe Noel Eberhard. Frankie M. Crabtree. Jacob L. Walker. Jillian S. Beavers. Bonita M. Wentworth. Landon T. Johnson. Joshua D. Dietrich. Braden Matthew Wiggins. Ariel C. Snyder. Madison N. Allen. Nia Simone Johnson. Kayla Aubrey Johnson. Wanda K. Smith. Madison I. Arthur. Sherelle L. Smith. Tatiana M. Dean.
Nikki F. Parker. Kristen Sierra Jones. Nathan P. Baker. Kirsten J. Kemp. Kyle J. Peters. Mackenzie J. Jessup. Nathaniel Allen Alspaw. Faith Lauren Apple. Brittany Narissa Luker. Alexis Marie Monin. Olivia R. Love. Maggie May Wilcoxon. Jenna Marie Mangan. Nicole Elizabeth Murphy. Olivia Ann Wright. Heidi M. Shutt. Megan Elise Chamberlain. Jasmine R. Crusoe Price. Thank you. Corinne Elizabeth Huffman. Georgia Elizabeth Wetzel. Aiden N. Beechler. Carissa Lou Weldy. Taylor Demmett. Marissa M. Hanish. Angelina C. Walker. Lauren M. Ritter. Macy Ritter. Andrew W. Evans. Kasia A. Maxwell. Madison N. Werner. Callie N. Lentz. Raina Lynn Marie Gibson. Elise K. Hayes. Kathy A. Kitchen. Sarah Ellis. Jennifer B. Scott. Rachel Middlestetter. Brandon Hernandez. Allison L. Hellman. Jacqueline R. Willoughby. Stephanie N. Matrusis. Dalton A. Geezy. Joshua K. Reck. Abraham Davis. Ashley K. Coe. Sarah Barnhart. Anna L. Putoff. Cassandra Elaine Johnson. Isaiah R. Boffman. Eve S. Siegel. Julian Lazaro Rodriguez. Brittany Sewer. Shaylin M. Gibson. Amy Ayers Jazu Shan. Ashley L. Bloomfield and Emma.
To all of our degree and certificate recipients today, you have worked hard inside and outside the classroom, and I congratulate you on a job well done. Your alma mater, which means nourishing mother, is now Edison State Community College, and we hope you will remain connected to this outstanding institution as active and supportive alumni. Congratulations and best wishes for a healthy, happy, and successful future. Before we conclude this celebration of new beginnings, it is important that we recognize and thank several key groups of people. A dedicated and talented faculty and staff have provided these graduates with superior teaching, advice, guidance, and many other forms of assistance. Would the faculty, staff, and emeriti faculty and staff of Edison State Community College please stand and accept our appreciation. Thank you. We would also like to recognize the graduates who have achieved honors status in their studies. Those graduating with honors earned a GPA of 3.5 to 3.74. Those graduating with high honors earned a GPA of 3.75 to 3.99. And those graduating with highest honors earned a GPA of a perfect 4.0. Would all of our honors graduates please stand so that we may congratulate you? Edison State Community College has always valued and honored those who have served our country in the armed forces. And we would like to continue that today by saying to our graduates and all in attendance who are veterans, thank you for your service. We are so proud to have you as part of our graduating class and attending our ceremony today. Would you please stand so that we can show our appreciation to you? And finally, today's graduates have been supported throughout their journeys by friends and family members who have provided love, encouragement, assistance, and in many cases money. Therefore, would the friends and family members of the graduates please stand and accept our appreciation. The ceremony today will conclude with our recessional. Please rise as the recessional leaves the gymnasium. Friends and family members will be able to meet their graduates in the courtyard outside the south doors of the building.